Good evening, Keepers of the Cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me just like every single Thursday, we got my good buddy, Digger Jim. Jim, what the hell's going on with you, buddy? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. Even though tomorrow is supposed to be my day off, I still got to go to work in the morning. It's terrible, but
right,
we move on. I'm excited to hear what the guest has to say tonight.
And of course, speaking of our guests, joining us for the first time, and this is a guy I met through his Whatnot show. Really liked the way it had a family atmosphere, a very inviting environment, really kind environment to be in, and a really inclusive environment. But this is Craig. They call him Boss, and he is the owner of Comics Collectible in Connecticut, and that is also his Whatnot, Comics Collectible Connecticut. The link is in the description below. But Craig, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to get on the show with you. We've been talking so long. It's great to be able to be here with you guys. I was really taken back, and thank you very much, guys, for inviting me on the show.
Oh, absolutely. We'll say a quick hello to the audience that's joined us so far, and then we'll get right into it. First up, Ruby G, Calm, Cool, Collected. How you doing, Ruby? Hope you and the child and the wife are doing well. Always great to see you. One of my all-time favorite people, Mr. Jerry the Jitterbug. And if you guys aren't aware, Jerry is celebrating his 7,000 subscriber milestone with an epic giveaway. You got Silver Age slabs, Golden Age slabs. Jerry puts together a huge package. All you got to do is go over to Jerry's channel, sub up to his channel, watch the video that he puts in, do the work. He doesn't make it that hard for you. Go support one of the best in our community. And Jerry is just one of my favorite people and a great friend as well. And we have our other co-host with the most, who is here on Tuesdays with me. We have Steve the Voice White. Good evening, Steve. We have a new face tonight in the chat. That dude, great to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us this evening. And we will scroll down here. We have DC Life, who's going to be our guest next Thursday. Jim, you get to meet another new person for the channel.
Nice.
Super nice dude. Great channel himself. And he's going to come on, do a 10-1-1. 10 books that are favorites and why. 11th with an extended personal story and a spec pick. He's already got him picked out. He's all excited about it. Then we got these guys having a good old chat. We have Brad Wellbore. Good evening, Brad. Always great to see you. Hope you're doing well over there in Canada. Hope you're keeping Steve White out of trouble.
Never.
Right? And we have Jeff Jack. Good evening, sir. And, of course, one of our favorites here, too. Brittany, how you doing tonight? It is great to see you. Brittany's been on the show several times and co-hosted, and she is just a great up-and-comer on YouTube and also one of the nicest people you will ever talk to. Brittany is awesome.
Brittany's awesome.
And let's see, Ruby G.
Yeah,
everyone's having a great conversation here.
Yep.
All right, but with that, as more people join, as we like to do, I will give them a quick tip of the hat. But tonight, it's not about us. It's about our guest, Craig. We are going to make him big because this is what we do. And so, Craig, it is our honor to meet you face to face and finally say hello. So give a quick little where your shop's at, where people can find you online, and then we'll start asking you some questions.
We are in Connecticut. We got about 5,000 square feet of retail space. We obviously we were fortunate to meet you guys. We started up a Whatnot maybe a year ago. I was very hesitant about doing it. I'm not a computer guy. My kid and a bunch of his friends talked me into it. So I put it on them. They put it together. And a year later, we've grown tremendously and we created a fantastic community. We met fantastic people like yourself. And it's really changed me, my outlook, and the excitement of doing comic sales with other people differently.
Yeah. Right, and like you and I were talking, because we talked a half hour before showtime, and of course the Gremlins hit at 1 minute before showtime. But you know what you and I were talking about is it's amazing how your friend base expands, how many people you meet, and shared interests. And then it adds another layer to this hobby that we love so much.
Right.
Oh, it definitely adds another layer. I mean, it's something, honestly, in all these years, I never even thought about it. It wouldn't have even crossed my mind until you really have to live this. You have to dive into this to
Right.
truly understand and appreciate for what it is. Because talking about it, people look at me, they shake their heads, oh yeah, it sounds good, it sounds fun. No, it is fun. It's amazing, and
Right.
it's obviously, I've come to learn, it's people with passion, because you're investing your time, and what more precious than your time do you have to offer anybody?
Right. Now
So
I know myself. I tell Gary I have to be careful with whatnot. I can get in trouble there. Spend a lot of money.
All right, so now we got Craig here twice, so he's gonna have to exit one of them.
I'm all over the place. If you can help me get out of this, I'm draining. So how do you get out?
Just close your phone.
Thank you. Let's close my phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove this one.
There you
And
go.
then
Sandy, no, I'm not. You got me in here still.
yep, and you gotta shut
There
the
it is.
phone off, or it's gonna
I
reverb.
shut the phone.
There we
Yeah.
go.
I'm
there you
learning, guys. I'm learning. Fantastic.
And, so we go like this, and then we got to go like this again, and then we got to go like this
I
again,
like
and
that
we're
picture
fit.
better. I like that picture better.
There we go.
My wife figured out the steps here. If not for her, my kid, I'd be lost in pre-dark days. We'd be back in your favorite Conan days.
I tried selling on Whatnot. I didn't really care. It was okay, but I don't have inventory like that to sell on
Right.
Whatnot.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be serious about selling on Whatnot, you need a constant inventory, and I don't have that, because the books I have are mostly PC books.
Right.
And that dude, if you go into the description of this show, I also have the link to his Whatnot in there, and you can just click it without having to type it in. It'll bring you right to his page, and you can sub them up there.
Yeah, it's definitely an inventory swing. We probably go through 10,000 books in the 3 days we run in just inventory. I'm not talking sales, just to run through boxes. And we don't want to rerun them in that week or the next week or the following week. So those all go out. And technically speaking, we do the show. We do Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Whatever we run through, come back into the retail side. And Monday, we have a lot of streamers come and pick all those boxes up, and they go. And we're back into new product. So we pretty much keep a fresh stock constantly. But it's a lot of running around and buying. I mean, we have a truck on the road every week, whether it's buying out old collections, closed down stores, basement finds, things of that nature. So it's work. People don't realize, if you're sitting with 2 boxes in a bedroom, kudos to you, and God bless, and hopefully you're doing well. But it's difficult. It's very difficult to keep that audience.
Yeah, you have to make it exciting. I've found that in the ones that I've gone into, you kind of got to keep people excited about it. I've gone on Whatnot streams, and I'm like, well, nobody's buying anything because the guy's not really keeping it exciting. He's not telling it about the book. He just puts it up there and says, okay, go. And then he wonders why he's not selling anything. So,
well, the guys get hostile on the show. I mean, they talk bad to their own customers. Oh, you guys are killing me and I'm buying. I'm going to shut the show. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. For the most part, and Gary, I think you could contest. We really don't talk about the books much. I talk more about life stories and the industry and the books. Right. So I try to share my knowledge with everybody to make it interesting in that way. Sometimes,
and you have great prices too. Like, you're selling books for $2 to $5 that other people sell for $8 to $15.
And I try to explain to the community as well. We start the books at $2 and they go whatever it is. I'm grateful for the sale. I know what I started it at. I'm very happy to be there and sell it at those prices.
Right.
But saying that, I laugh because those are the same books we're selling to other streamers that are doing just what you said. And it's hilarious because sometimes I see that streamers in other shops, whether we're in Boston at one time or New York, Queens, Brooklyn, wherever I may be at that certain day, and I see them in there, and I have their phone numbers, and I call them and say, hey, what are you doing looking at this guy's shop? You don't want to give me $2 for the book, and you're bidding at $5. Yeah, what are you doing there? How are you there? Like, right? We're everywhere. We just go and go, you know. So it's a funny industry, and certain shows are going to get certain value, and other shows are going to get more because they run them at more, and they're willing to take a smaller audience for that, I guess.
Right.
Now, this guy here, Dope Comics, this is a guy like us. He loves his books. He reads his books. He is a collector's collector. He is in it for the love of it.
Well, that's it.
Right.
That's the separation of the pack, and we're getting fewer by the minute. You know, guys that actually love it, and that's why I try to promote new artists, new writers. I tell guys, I say, just give me your stuff, man. I'll put it up. Give me posters. Give me what you got on your products, and we'll put it in the building. We'll put it on the walls. We'll put it in showcases. Make a poster. New England's home of whoever you are. We'll post your stuff. We'll sell your stuff. I'm not looking for any money for the promotional world. I'm not looking for a dime. Just give me your stuff. I'll put it up free. You can't beat the price.
Right.
We'll give you a showcase dedicated to you.
And it brings people into your shop to check out something new.
I feel. It's to me, I got 5,000 feet. I can afford the space. Let me put your stuff in here. I don't want anything. And, you know, they look at me like it's some kind of hustle. I'm like, this ain't a hustle. What am I getting? I'm getting nothing.
Let's talk about your brick and mortar, though. When did you guys start up business, and how long have you been in business?
Well, Jesus Christ, I like to believe at this point I'm probably one of the originators left of starting a back issue store. Yeah. I probably started 50 years ago in the Bronx. I started just about 50 years ago in Bronx, New York. I started in an 800 square foot store with $500 I borrowed from my grandmother and my personal collection. And I decided to sell the collection because I found something better than comics. Believe it or not, guys, there was something better. There was this young lady who came into my life.
I was going to say, what was her name? Yeah. I don't know what something better is.
Like, holy shit, I discovered women. So I wanted to take her to dinner, an Italian dinner in a diner in the day, $4 and change. Spaghetti meatballs.
Yeah.
Drink.
Amazing, right?
Unbelievable. I didn't have the money. Didn't have it. I had just worked a summer program where they paid me $330 for the entire summer. I took my $330, went to Midtown Manhattan. There was only 2 back issue stores in the whole city. None in any other borough. None.
Right.
Wow.
I went down to Columbus Avenue, 59th and Columbus Avenue, where they had the Time Warner building now. It was a little shit building. Excuse my language. Yeah. Back issues. It was called back issues. The guy had prices of his books then what they are now.
Wow.
I bought a Conan #1, $60. I never forget.
Wow.
$60. And a few other books. I ended up spending my whole summer money there. Then I met this young lady. Had nothing. So I said, I'm going to take the book back to this Midtown place. I'll sell them a book, get a couple of dollars, took it back. I tells me, oh, these are garbage. They're beat up. They're this or that. I was like, I just bought it from you. I don't recognize you. Okay. Okay.
First taste of getting shipped, huh?
Thank you, buddy. Went back to the Bronx. What am I going to do? Went to my grandmother. It was at the transition of time. The old Italians were moving out with the fruit stands. Those were being converted into bodegas and grocery stores and things like that. The old lady had a store. She was on a rent. She was closing down her fruit stand. I think I was 17, 16. And I said, would you rent me the store so I could sell my comics? And she said, yeah, no problem. $300 a month rent. I have it on. Go to my mother. My mother said, are you out of your mind? You're going to go to college. You're going to do this. I said, I just want to sell some comics and get some money back and get my collection's over. I'm done. No way. It's not going to happen. I went to my grandmother. My grandmother comes, hands me the $500 the next day, goes, open your store. Do your dream.
Nice.
I went to the old lady. I don't have security money. I don't have nothing. I forget about a corporation and all this. A different time.
Right.
Give me the rent. Don't forget about the security. Don't care about it. Call the utility company. Turn on the lights. No tax ID, no business certificates, no bank accounts.
Right, no DBA, nothing.
Nothing. A White Owl cigar box from my grandfather. That was my register.
Over the counter.
That was my register. Open up the score, selling back issues, doing a little business, selling it as it's a Bronx business. What are you guys going to Manhattan for? Buy here, buy here, buy here. This older gentleman comes in, pretty well to do in my eyes at the time, goes, "Where's the new books, kid?" I'm like, "New books? I ain't got no money for new books." He gives me $100 bill. He tells me, "Listen, you bring in the new comics every week, you'll work it off that way. I take my books from you." I went to Hudson County News. They had a warehouse in the Bronx. The guy was good enough, and again, different times. People saw things different. I must have been humorous to them. "I need to get new books. You got a tax ID?" I ain't got nothing. All right, don't worry about it. Go pick up what you want. Bring it to me. We'll bring it up. Picked out the new books for that week. Bring them to him. The guy charged me. Left. Put them on my stand. They started selling. In a year, I went from an 800 square foot store on 233rd Street in the Bronx. That was what was called back then the South Side for everybody over there. That's where all the great rappers came from. African Bambaataa and all those gangs, all the rappers, all the breakdancing started. I was involved with all those guys over there. Went from that store, opened up in high-class Pelham Parkway. Now you're with the to-do people. Found a store over there. Opened up that shop. Store took off. In 3 years, I had 3 stores in the main areas of all the Bronx. I was on Fordham Road and Webster Avenue. To this day, it's still classified as one of the most traffic-driven strips in all of the boroughs.
Right.
Wow.
I opened on the 3rd floor. That store is in business today. I sold it to an Asian gentleman who partnered with me at that time, and I took his seed money from a partnership and I bought into the distributing new books. And I sold him. He said after a while, he came to me and said, "Craig, this ain't fair. Can you sell me the business? You know, I'm splitting with you. You're never here." I sold him the business. Today, that store is probably the oldest store in New York City. It still exists. The 3rd floor. He made a life there. He's probably 70 years old.
Do you guys still talk?
We talk.
Nice.
We talk. But he made his life. He was a guy who was content. He did what he did. But I went into the distribution end of it at that point. I started understanding the business and all that. But I was willing to do what distributors weren't doing. I was willing to go into Manhattan with a beat-up old $500 van, 2 guys in it, and run down to the subways with the books and get all the newsstands, because all the main subways had newsstands in them in the day.
Right.
Okay.
So you run downstairs with the new comics, you sell it to the guy. You got a guy with a van circling the neighborhood because you can't park midtown Manhattan.
No.
Come around and pick the guy back up.
Right.
So we went into the newsstands and we said, "Listen, how much you get from the distributors? 20% off at that time. 20% off returns." Said, "I got a deal for you. We give you 40% off, no returns." Well, within 3-4 months, I had 100 subway stands. Nobody cared. There were no returns.
Right.
Nice.
Nobody cared. They didn't care. They let it all go. And that was at the beginning of the direct market industry, how that took off. And when all the deals were made with CK distributors, they were the first guys to actually close a deal with Marvel Comics and took over that part of the industry. And we closed the deal with them to buy in sealed cases opposed to breaking them down to get a higher percentage. So I would get 300 of every copy or whatever it was and had to break it down to divvy it out. And we got 52% because we were taking the cases, we weren't breaking them down.
Right. So let me just quickly ask a question. What year was all this transpiring? Just for people that might wonder. I wonder. Like what time period?
We're in the 80s.
Okay, this was definitely in the 80s.
We were definitely in the 80s. We were definitely in the 80s. This was before Capital City came into the world. This is before there was a Heroes World. This
Right.
is way before there was Diamond Comics.
But you were hustling. You were you were doing a good thing. You were running your business.
I was running a business. I didn't know it, but I was. Retrospectively looking, I was a lot bigger than I ever thought I was. But when you're in the mix of it, it's just everyday things.
Right.
And the store was WOW Comics, and the way we came up with the name of that store was when we were building out the showcase store on Pelham Parkway and filling it with all these books, which nobody saw at that point in time. We probably had 80,000 books going into the store. People were stopping in the window, and every single person who stopped to look in the store said the same thing. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
So we posted it up, Wow Comics, and that became the brand.
Now, when did your mom come on board? Like, all right.
Yeah, that was my other question.
When did your mom come on board?
Well, my mom came on board after the third store.
Right.
She came on board. But my grandmother, who started the old thing, God bless her, never came on board as far as the concept of being self-employed. Don't forget, she was from the Depression era.
Right.
Her brother, my grandfather, everybody worked for the government. He was a mailman. My grandfather worked for the housing authority. So many years later, I started opening up Dunkin' Donuts to get off the comic subject for a minute. I opened up the first Dunkin' Donuts in the Bronx, and my grandmother turned 80 years old. I opened up a donut manufacturing plant in the back of a building where we were distributing to all the donut shops that we planned to open. And I invited my grandmother there. We bussed in all her old friends, and she sat at the table and told me, "This is beautiful. All your comic shops are beautiful. But you should have still worked for the post office. You would have had good insurance."
Hey, they got to have something, Craig. They got to have something.
That was it. So, in the cost of everything, there's 40 people working there. Everybody's catering to my grandmother. Insurance. You need insurance. But so yeah, we were in the 80s and we pushed through, and the industry was gangbusters. I ran probably, I'd say, in the neighborhood of 200,000-300,000 a week in new book orders.
Wow.
Through distribution, and we made money on 2%.
Nice.
2%. We were successfully operating at 2%. Because as other distributors came in, we didn't lose clients. We had personal relations for years with people.
Right.
And people were different then. They came to you and said, "Listen, Capital City came to me, Heroes World came to me. I love you to death, but they're offering me 45%. You're giving me 30%. I want to stay with you. What can you do?" It's not right to tell somebody, "I'll match you." They came to you, they gave you the decency. So we went to where we had to go. All right, well, we give you 50%. But we had the deal for 52%, which nobody else had. We had those extra 2 points.
Right.
So we had multiple deals across this. And plus, I was running 100 newsstands, and I could have said, "Well, mine," even though they weren't mine, in the subway. We had every single. We had every.
Was your book on those subways?
Those were the gold mine. The amount of people that read comics that went to work every day was phenomenal, just phenomenal. If you rode the buses in those days in the boroughs, and anybody who's on your thing, if they're from any of the boroughs, would know what I'm talking about. You go to the back of the bus, there were comics in the seats. People read their comics, left them on the seats for the next guy. That was a New York thing. It was the way it was.
Right.
You just went in there and you read, and you left the book there. And that's why all your Westerns and Army books today are destroyed because they were the favorite. You couldn't get high-end Westerns then in the 80s from the 70s, and now we're how many years later, so you know what you're dealing with. ECs in particular, they were so sought after to read.
Right.
That in the 80s, you couldn't get high-grade ones. Now they're impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and because they were doing storytelling that regular comics weren't, because they were restricted by the Comics Code Authority.
Correct.
So if you wanted more adult storytelling, you had to go to those magazines. Now, out of all the genres that have been, and there's some genres that aren't around anymore, they're not popular anymore. but there is a lot of great genres in comics. Is there a particular genre that you miss being around? Like you mentioned Westerns, the old EC horror. Is there any particular genre that was super popular when you first started that's not really as prominent now that you really miss?
To me, what I miss the most is ink.
Oh yeah, the newsprint. I love nothing will ever replace newsprint to me.
No.
It's
And that smell, Craig. Oh,
it's the smell that today, if you ever collected and you walk in a room with that smell today, if you haven't done it for 50 years, you know what it is.
Instantly.
And that's why I had a big problem when the industry was transitioning to CGC. Everything in my mind is a string. It all wires together. Everything was mental. You had no computers. I had to remember everything. So, bring to what you're saying, CGC came into effect. He said, we're going to legitimize the business. Everybody, we're going to bring it to $1 billion industry. At that time, it was an $800 million industry. We're going to bring it to $1 billion, and we're going to legitimize it because people are robbing everybody. The grading is inconsistent. We're going to get a uniform. I said, that's all great. But encapsulations that remove the smell of the book, the feel of the book. and we sat at the table with 10 guys before CGC came into place in Diamond's building, talking about the process of beginning CGC. There was 10 of us. And we sat at the round table discussing grading and seeing if the top dealers in the country all came to the same numbers continuously on books.
Right.
And everybody was into it, the profit margins, to this, to that. I was the sole holdout for like 3 days until I was just like, I get it. I understand the point. Let's go. Let me stop being nostalgic in my own twisted mind. I want the smell. Nobody cares. I want the texture. Nobody cares. I still don't like it. And my reasoning being, we're losing the art. We're losing.
Yeah.
You don't have these pages. It's not a baseball card. There's not two sides to it.
Right.
You're seeing a comic's a comic, and it's a beautiful piece of artwork. It's come a long way as far as legitimacy, but it's not truly appreciated for what it is. And that's the difference with my feeling of a book. You encapsulate it, but the historic values inside with the inking and the coloring and the paper and the toning and the aging, and it's forgotten about. It's truly forgotten about, and it's not spoken about anymore. And that's why I think once again, thank you guys for having me on the show, because it gets to be spoken, and you guys know it. You lived it.
Right.
So,
I ran a printing press in my younger days. I ran a 4-color Heidelberg and a 6-color Japanese Komori. So I smelled ink every day. And you just get that feeling when you go into a shop and you're like, oh yeah, this is my home. This is where I recognize that. I know that, and
it's the same with like a bookstore for me too. You get in and smell those old paperbacks.
A good old bookstore.
Bookstore, correct.
Yeah.
A good old bookstore. It's the same thing. I laugh. We have hundreds of thousands of books in my place.
Yeah.
It's a comic shop from New York. In my mind, it's still run as a comic book shop.
Yeah.
I tell people, what good's a deal if I have to look through this? So that's part of what it's about. And we're not changing for you. I tell you what I will do. That dollar book that's in the dollar bin that you can thumb through and look through, I'll go get it from the alphabetized system, but I want $18 for it.
Yeah.
I had to put thousands of hours into it, man-hour, bagging, boarding, sorting. What went into doing this? What do you think that cost me?
Right. Now, Jason has a question for you. He goes, was there a feeling that dealers are going to have to compete over their grades on the books over CGC's third-party grading? Was that a concern when you guys were at the table that you were going to have to compete with these graded books?
No, it wasn't a concern because greed overran the whole thing. And that's the way I see it. I'm sorry to speak on it that way, but they believed, and it came to fruition, that they were going to be so dominant that if you went into a store, nobody would want it ungraded, and they were going to be the people.
Right.
So,
a very arrogant view.
and anything below it's substandard. And if a dealer in a store, it's not a CGC store, which we are, they're not an authorized grader. So it's subjective. And if you want to buy it ungraded from somebody and you believe in them, do it. But at the end of the game, if you're buying high-end Golden Age or Silver Age books and you want to know what's recognized universally, it has to be graded. And
now,
that's the separation.
What caused the move from New York to Connecticut to open a shop in Connecticut?
Okay, the move happened for a couple of reasons. The industry had died in the 90s, as we know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to I made a lot of money in the industry at the time. So as the stores started shutting and the distribution routes started drying up and there was no more newsstands and they started going out of business and the trains started shutting down all the routes and all of that. Paper stopped selling. Playboy was gone. Nobody cared. The internet came in. I diverted into gasoline, and I started opening up Sunoco stations in Connecticut.
Nice.
So I totally put all the books into. I owned some real estate, and I put a few 100,000 books into a building I had down there in the basement. A couple of 100,000 toys, and I closed the stores down. Got out of the industry totally.
Oh.
I was done. I went into gasoline. I was dealing with gas stations, and that became my mainstay. Then I started buying some real estate up in Connecticut and got into that field as well. I bought knowing what I knew. I said, I'm buying all these cigarettes and everything. Then I started hearing about rebates. I'm like,
yeah,
sounds familiar. Sounds like comic discounting. So I found out that buying the books, you get the books. The cartons of cigarettes, if you buy them directly through a sub job, you get $5 a carton back. I was selling 3,000-4,000 cartons a week.
Wow.
So I ended up being fortunate once again, and I ran into an old timer who had one of the last sub job license in Connecticut. He said, I'm getting out of the business. I got 40 accounts, but you're building stores. Why don't you buy it and start self-distributing your stores, and you could pick up these other accounts. So we bought his sub-jobber's license, and I started self-distributing cigarettes to me and a bunch of other stores, and we grew that market into the same conveyor belt as comics was. I started going to all these gasoline meetings and meeting with all the owners and started undercut everybody, started offering rebate money to everybody,
Right.
which you weren't supposed to in the real world. All the H&L and Harry Levinson and all the billion-dollar players were furious, but I did it. So I went that route. The Florida market had crashed in real estate, so we decided we were going to go down there and buy a house. I went down to Florida, and I ran into somebody that I knew that was in real estate that had known my comic shops in the day. And he said, oh, Craig, you remember the comic shops, this, that, the other thing? Radio Shack's going out of business. I got this great lease in Clearwater, Florida, St. Pete's. I got all the stores back. Why don't you open some shops here? I was like, you're out of your mind. You got to be crazy. I'm done with that industry. We hang out, took me out on his boat. We were drinking, carrying on. The next day, I wake up with a lease in my hand with 3 stores on it.
Gotcha.
Got me.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch. I can't. He said, listen, I'm not going to hold you to it. You know that. But I said, you know what? Now I'm here. Let's have some fun. And I opened up a chain of stores in Florida. And we started taking the stuff from New York and trucking it down there. And that's how I got back into it. GameStop was going out of business at that point after we were built and all of that. And we sold out the locations to GameStop. I came back to Connecticut where I had a building for the gasoline stations. And we said, you know what, we got the bottom of the building. Let's open up and run the store there. And we got the offices and everything above. And that's how I dived full-time back into it in Connecticut.
Nice.
So
now, getting back into it, did it reinvigorate your love for the comics you had before? Did you get back to
100%.
reading again?
100%.
And
Yeah, it definitely did. I think one of your people was asking something. I didn't see the question. I'm sorry.
Oh, I
probably
think he was
Jason.
just talking about CGC here. Like the big revelatory thing about CGC was that they were revealing how so many books were restored that they thought would be universal.
Right?
That were yeah.
Well, the grading wasn't perfected with thinking forward on how about checking to see if there's restoration to books and all that from the beginning.
Right.
So there was a lot of learning curves with CGC as well: trimming, restoration, restapling.
Now, what year was it you got back into you reopened the comic shop though? Was this recently, like 2017?
No, it was I opened up probably 5 years before COVID.
Okay.
5 years before COVID, I went into it full fledged. We went into I was in probably 2,500 square feet, and we jumped it up to 5,000 square feet, the entire downstairs of a building, and that's where we jumped in full time.
Now, what had changed in the industry when you reopened that surprised you that you had found? Because it had to be different.
The pricing.
Yeah.
The pricing, it was shocking to me on what the 90s stuff was going for today, considering I had cases. To this day, if you see when you go on the show, you see we're still opening cases of stuff from the 90s. I probably had 1,000 cases of books from the 90s, all the foil covers, all the X-Men. You know, how many X-Men #1 cases I still got that are sealed? The Hulk, the foil Hulks, the die-cut Wolverines, the bag Supermans. We still sit with cases and cases. And it's like they're never going to get rid of this. There's nobody big enough to buy me out. Who's going to buy this stuff? That's why it sat there for 30 years, 40 years.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Just sell it all, put it out, and we started putting it out. And the amount of people that started traveling to us, and then I reached out to so many people I knew from the industry. You know, I deal with we're direct with Sideshow, we're direct with Mezco, we're direct with NECA, all the toys, the Jandro, Little Buddy, all the anime stuff. We showcase it opposed to just putting boxes on shelf. We probably probably have 200 square feet dedicated to showcase in the store. Just open statues and pieces of that nature. Every size.
LCS does the same thing, and he does great with it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it full scale. It's
you got to diversify it.
It's a lot of money to burn, and you have to put it out there. And all the stores, when we try to sell to them, tell us, "Oh, well, what else if it don't sell? I got to." Well, then don't carry it. But don't buy a $300 statue and leave it in a box and expect it to sell.
Right.
If there's 20 anime pieces that came out today, don't buy 2 and expect somebody to come to your store. They're looking for diversity. So that changed tremendously. It went from just being a comic shop, which some stores can, I just don't know them, run fully on comics that are making what I consider a real living.
So you see stores, and I've seen a bunch of them. They open up, we're just selling new books. We don't do back stock. They don't last a year.
Well, it's where are you getting this volume from? It just doesn't exist. I like to believe that whatever store it is, no matter how small or how big, once you got a customer, if you're doing the right thing for that customer, they're not going new book shopping to another guy. Why would they? The only way to get that guy is buy him.
Right.
And you and I were talking before the show, like there's many comic shops I walked out. So, because to me, integrity is a thing when I'm doing business with somebody. I've been in many comic shops where they treat me like a thief while I'm in there. They'll come up to me every 5 minutes because they're worried that I'm looking at books. Well, isn't that what they're here for, to look at? I had another comic shop that I was going to. Now, if I have a pull list with you, to me, that's a contract. I have a pull list for this character, for this series. That means every time that book comes in, there's a copy waiting for me at the cover price. Well, there was one shop I was going to. He said, well, and I did, I had pull lists with him. Well, I was collecting Conan and Solomon Kane and a couple other things. Well, he sold the books that were mine to a buddy for $20 because this is a hot book right now. Yeah, well, also you don't have it. I'm like, well, then you don't have it? Well, we have a contract. I'm on the pull list for this book. So you just told me I'm not important to you, so I'm done.
Yeah, that's a shame. It's a shame. We go very deep into that dive, and as I say, everybody got their way. It doesn't mean your way is the right way. because a book came out and it's hot doesn't mean you have the right to upcharge your base customer.
Right.
Or take the book away from them.
Well, even worse. Even
Right.
worse.
Well, you just don't get the book this month, really. Then why do I have a pull list if you're going to take the book away?
Yeah.
The pull list means nothing then.
You let that one issue and the greed get the better part of years of doing business with somebody. And shame on you. Shame on you as a retailer.
And like I said, the guy I'm with now, Chet, he's great. Books will come out, they'll be $20-$30 the first day. I'm on the pull list. Guess what? If it's in your pull list, you're getting it for cover price.
Right.
Yeah,
and your copy's there. He's not pulling your copy to sell it more expensive to someone else because he has integrity.
Well, that's the thing. How long are you with the guy?
Yeah, I've been with him since 2019 now.
Well, that says volumes for who he is.
And I spend time in the shop every Sunday, with the books and him, just helping out, just because I want to.
Well, that's the nature of the way it's supposed to be. It's same thing with Pokemon. It's the hottest thing around now, and blah blah blah. And listen, we make a living on it, and I'm not into it personally at all.
Yeah, me either.
But I know it all. But when it got to over 150 characters to 130,000 characters, I'm sorry, I'm confused. I don't know. But I got these whatever we want to call them. Guys come in and they go, how many boxes you got? 20 boxes. I'll take them all. No, actually, you won't.
Right.
And people look down on that. I'm like, listen, you know what? Every weekend I got families that travel to me.
Right.
And I want to make sure that their kids are able to buy a few packs. We're not chasing the dollar. We're chasing relationships for future sales.
Right.
There's a question for you. I maybe missed it earlier, but is Craig still excited by comic books, or has it just become a business after a while?
No, I'm definitely excited about comics at this point in my life, at this age, after everything I've been through. Coming back to life, and I'm blessed. Guys know I went through a bad cancer situation for the last couple of years. If the books didn't excite me, I wouldn't be down there doing it. I wouldn't be doing this and spending my time. I say all the time, the most valuable thing I got is my time.
Right.
And your time is more valuable to me than anything else. I'm not anywhere near that guy. I do it because I love it and have passion for it. When I buy a collection, I dig through it. I look at it. I want to see it. I want to show things. When we do our show, I'm showing stuff that are non-comic related. Right. I was like, oh my God, I just opened the box. Look what I found.
And I've got some of that. And Tina wants to know what comics you actually still collect, if any.
Still collect. Okay. I read a lot of the titles. What I still collect are all the Spider-Man titles. I still collect them. I still collect the FF, and I still collect Hulk. Those are what I collect.
Yeah, the big three.
Oh, he didn't say Conan. It's getting fuzzy on his side right now.
they skip around so often on me. I don't know who's putting it out. I don't know who's. I get confused.
Spider-Man's tough to follow for me. I mean, they've done so many renditions. It's really too much to keep up. I only have a small box of Spider-Man from back in the 80s when I read it then, and then after a while I went on to something else. But for me, and I've been meaning to segue into this because I think this is another question. When I was young and collecting, for me it was about the artist, because the story was secondary to me. But my little brother was more, he had to have a good story. But for me, a comic book is a visual stimulating thing. So I need to have an artist that I'm going to be like, yeah, that guy can draw, like it kept me in the story. Yep. Is there an artist that from, back in the day that you were like, yeah, every time you saw the book, you were like, I can't wait to see how he drew this.
Well, that's what got me into the industry, was the cover of the Captain America's, the Strankles. That's what got me into the industry, the covers. And going back to what we were talking about, the paper and the inking and drawing can't be reproduced today on all the computer. I'm not saying the computer guys aren't artists by any stretch of the imagination. They're just a different type of artist. They're not gonna draw you into the inks. The paper's different, so it can't draw you. What you saw and what I saw are a whole different thing.
than the generation of people today are seeing on that paper. So it's a different draw altogether. And everybody was chasing artists in the day. Who wasn't chasing Barry Smith? Who wasn't chasing Stranko? Who wasn't chasing, Gene Colan? Who wasn't chasing Jack Kirby's?
Right.
These
George Perez, Neil Adams,
Romita Senior. Yeah, those are good. Yeah.
Oh, we still talk about that. We didn't talk about Spider-Man. When I think Spider-Man, I think Romita Senior Spider-Man. That is the best Spider-Man that's ever been to me. Is that era of John Romita Spider-Man?
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. But I'm very lenient and soft-hearted for Junior because he had big shoes to step into, and he just had to fight the haters because of that. So I feel bad for the guy. So
I mean, he just has a different style. And you don't want. I wouldn't expect him to be exactly like his father's style, and his style fits certain characters some ways better than others.
I liked it before he went blocky with it. Like his original, I liked his Contest of Champions era art when he did the Contest of Champions, that original 3-issue mini.
Yeah.
Wow, that was gorgeous. I mean, it was just was like the Contest of Champions were a step above the rest in those days. And guys that haven't done it, that are watching you should just really look into that set. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful set. And talking artists then with Contest of Champions, George Perez.
Yeah.
This guy, he give you an overview and you look down at 100 characters and you could identify each one.
Right. I mean, he could cover, he got, and when, I guarantee you that's what DC and Marvel both, when they used him, they knew they were getting their money's worth because he covered the whole page.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean,
like him and Barry Windsor Smith, that did it. It took Barry Windsor Smith missed deadlines sometimes because of how much he was putting in the art.
He was known for deadline missing, but you had to know. I mean, they hired him, and I mean, sometimes it was the cause of collapse of titles too with some of these guys. 3 months later, that was Image's problem, right? They put out a title 3 months later, a year later, the next one. It happened with Camelot number 12, I believe. They both ran 1 through 11. 12 didn't come out for a year. So
that's all this stuff. It still happens today. I mean, you'll get all of a sudden you'll be reading a book, and the next year, where's issue 4? Well, they haven't come out with it yet. It's been over 2 months, and it boggles my mind how they still do that today. But I'm just, for me, it's always going to be about the art, and there were several artists, but especially George Perez, John Byrne, Romita Senior. These were the ones that captivated me to want to sit and read it. And I always ask people, are you is the art come first for you, or is it the story? There's no wrong answer, but it's just, for me, it's always a curious question.
There's a wrong answer. It's the art.
All right, it's a wrong answer.
That's a wrong answer. No, but yeah, you're right. There's no wrong answer. But I mean, these names you mentioned, I mean, Byrne, as far as anybody's concerned, recreated the X-Men. No Byrne, there's no X-Men today.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
It's a whole different thing. I mean, his art was just like, wow.
The only issue I had
he did that with the FF too, though.
Yeah,
when Byrne's Fantastic Four was out, man, I loved it. I loved his run on Fantastic Four.
And
which X-Men was your problem?
Yeah, from what I understand, the only problem I had with Byrne was sometimes his kids looked too adulty, like he was drawing a midget as opposed to a child, and I was like, oh, that kind of scares me.
Lee Weeks is underrated.
Yeah, Lee Weeks is underrated. But yeah, from what I understand, it was like the whole conversation went, because he did not get along with Claremont at all. Like they used to butt heads a lot because I think John wanted to write and draw, and they were like, you're not going to outright Chris Claremont. This is his story.
No, and talking about X-Men not existing, like Claremont,
right?
His writing will never be topped in X-Men.
Right, and because he was the longest standing writer on X-Men for the longest time, but they yeah, can't draw babies. The way I heard the story goes is that he went into the editor and was like, I can't work with this guy anymore, and they were like, well, you know what, we decided you're not going to have to, because you're going to go over, John, you're going to go over to FF and we're going to let you draw it and write it. And he's like, fine by me. And off he went.
he did a hell of a job, though. He did do a hell of a job.
I loved his FF run.
Yeah. They're still very sought after to this day. They're not around like they were. They really have dried up, but they are pieces of art. The FF run is phenomenal. I actually, I'm not a huge X-Men guy personally, but I am that era of FF. I love it. I definitely love it.
And then Paul says, I was not a fan of Byrne as he butchered Sue Storm's hair that George Perez made nice.
Now, who do you think, and again, well, there can be a wrong answer. I think there are certain people that can draw the Hulk way better than others. And but everybody has their own personal thing. And there's a period in the Hulk too that I like to read more than others. There's certain storylines that I enjoy and some that I don't. But and I know you're a Hulk guy. I mean, like there was a period there from like 200, that 200, early 200 range. I think Ramita actually drew some of them then too. And Ramita Senior, and I enjoyed that, but I didn't like that whole intelligent Hulk run that much.
Oh, that's where they killed it. Yes, I agree.
So I was like, but again, I wasn't a huge Hulk guy. I read some of it, but not as it would be in like little spurts of it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the favorite Hulk, obviously, not obviously, but it's the early Hulks. I mean, that's when Hulk was Hulk. When they got into I mean, I look at some of the covers now. It's like he got like this little bobblehead head on,
and his body's like massive.
Yeah, it's like what's going on here? Who green lighted this? Who said this was okay? I don't get it. And this is the problem. Somewhere along the line, they lost concept of their own characters, and the fact that the covers are what drew people in. It's a simple. It's not a complicated field. It's just a business that you have to have feel for. Corporate America can never get into this industry, and they have failed on numerous big projects trying to, because you have to have a feel for the industry. It's not something you could reach into a warehouse and, I need Hulk 105 through 150 and buy them. You have to go get them. There's not a barcode for this out there. There's not a feeling machine you could reach into, not yet anyway. Say, this is, every community is different, every neighborhood is different, so you have to cater to that niche in that area, and that's the problem. They have no clue. It's change your store to. Our blueprint has always been simple: change quickly.
Right.
We're not structured and set up for any one thing. We have a structure and a blueprint for what we want to lay out. And tomorrow, that whole thing is changed overnight.
Well, DC, he's like, it's obvious that the comic industry is struggling. What do you think is the reason? For me, they're trying to cater too much to people that they think are buying their books, and the books always work best when you're just true to the characters in the book. Write the characters. Don't write to the public. Write the character. At least that's my opinion.
I agree. I mean, I've been voicing that publicly, for better or worse, for a long time.
Because you could tell when a character doesn't feel like a character when it's written wrong.
When they put a title out, whatever the title is, or a character out, and it's geared up to 1% of the population, and 0.01% of that 1% are customers, there's a problem.
Right.
There's a real problem. I mean, everybody in every industry, and with real industries that do big money, have learned the hard way. You can't cater to a non-existent market. It doesn't sell.
Well, and I think that's just what social media has ruined in parts of society, right? Because
it has. The problem is everybody, we're in an accept society, and it's easy to accept if you're not economically tied to the problem. But when you're tied to the problem economically, and then you're gone because you went with it, that's on you. And everybody else still moves on with their life. Nobody stops, right? So tomorrow, if I stop and I close down, I'm going to have a lot of phone calls, and I still got a lot of great relations and all of that. And I'm in a different situation than 90% of maybe more than other stores. But at the end of the day, I'm still running a business, and I want to make profit from it.
Sure.
Right.
So again, I'm set aside for different reasons. I'm insulated from certain things, but I'm not going to make bad decisions to cater to companies that are making money regardless and have all those write-offs. It's like I told one of these companies, they're like, "Oh, your orders were non-existent on this, product we're putting out." And my answer was, "Well, I'll take as many as you want to send me. Just make them returnable." Make them returnable. We have no returns, guys. No returns in the comic industry.
Right.
You buy it, it's yours. Every book on that rack is a $5 bill out of your pocket. So when you go into a store and you see piles of books there, that guy paid for them. Whoever it is, however small there is, he paid for those books.
And so people don't realize the backstock problem when you're buying that many books. If they don't sell, now you're stuck with, not only with a profit loss, now you're stuck with a storage problem as well.
And that's where we get them, and they're 10 cents books. That's what they are. We're buying boxes of books from people, $100 a box. That's it. Nobody cares about any modern book. Nobody. It's as simple as that. You can take 100 modern books. I'll give you a better example. Take out the occasional exception, whatever it is, Spawn, this, that, whatever, and the books that have jumped up, Invincibles, whatever. But you take the last 5 years of books and you run them on What's Not for $1, and you won't sell them.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So like a Batman title from, say, 4 or 5 years ago probably isn't going to get you anything.
Not $1.
Yeah.
Not $1. And that's what people don't understand. Yeah, and back to you. It's backstock. It's this. It's that. What are you doing with this stuff? And that book cost you $2 or $3.
Sure.
So people come in the store. I'm putting out 80 titles a week, and they're like, "Oh, you ain't got this?" Sure, I do. Right here on this pull list.
Right.
Order it from me.
Right.
But don't come to me because your neighborhood guy sold out of it, and you expect it just to be here randomly for you.
And not only that, if you want something, you guys have pull lists. Get a pull list. Don't complain if it's not there. If you really want it, put it. Like my LCS, he goes through League of Comic Geeks. He's associated with them, right? So I go make my pull list there. It's automatically pulled for me when it gets to Rhino's Comics, right? And he can see what I'm getting and what every other one of his customers is getting, and he'll bring in number ones of new books of like indies and stuff. But if that number one doesn't sell, well, he's not bringing in 2, 3, 4, and 5. Why would he bother?
Right.
But
so if you want them, you got to subscribe to it, and then he'll order what fits your list.
Well, it's the only fair way to do it. I try to tell people, listen, we're here to be fair, and that's not the greatest business model either. I'm not supposed to be fair. I'm supposed to be in business, but I want to cater to you,
right?
But because the book went to $20 and your local comic shop don't want to give it to you for cover price now, and you want to come to me and get it, and you're annoyed we sold out. How am I the bad guy all of a sudden?
Right.
How did I become the bad guy? Well, my guy don't have it. Well,
there's a reason.
There's a reason, yeah. And you expect to pop in here on the one book twice a year and get it from me for cover price.
Right, so they can go sell it for $20, $30 themselves.
That's the reason.
My LCS went went big on those like Alex Ross covers, you know, that he was doing a couple years back, and
They were beautiful,
and they were great. But I remember vividly that, you know, once that whole time passed and people had picked up what they wanted, he was stuck with, I don't know, it had to have been like 4 or 5 long boxes of that stuff. And he just, you know, every time he'd have a sale, he would just say, all right, just, you know, sell it, see who will get it, you know, reduce the price, sell it for, you know, $2 or whatever.
Make something back on it.
He had to get something back. And you know, it was just, I think that was the last time he ever took a chance on something.
It's difficult to sink into it. I listen. I learned my lesson in the 90s. As we just spoke, I have cases stuff still.
And right now is the 90s all over again.
I feel like it's becoming that.
Pretty much.
Now, as a comic shop owner, Craig, what do you think is the strongest part of the industry right now, and what is the weakest in your experience?
When we talk comic shop, are we talking comics?
Well, I mean,
just the industry as a whole. Like, what do you think is working for comics right now? What do you think isn't working for comics?
I think the independent companies are working good. We go back to your situation on covers. The independent companies, I feel, have changed the dynamics of the market to reading. I do believe they're not as focused on the art, and they are very strong on story and content. Yeah. And it's bringing in a different audience. It's a more mature, intelligent audience that's into the reading part of it. The downside to it is the price. They're putting out too many variants again.
Yeah.
And
too many foils.
Too many foils. We don't need this.
Too many gimmicks.
If you haven't learned, you're new to the industry, and you shouldn't be in your position if you haven't studied your job.
Yeah.
You know, it's failed. It's failing again, and nobody needs to pay $9.99, $8.99 for a book. It's simple as that.
See, what I don't like are all these blind bags. I like to know what I'm getting for my money. I don't want to pay $10 for a blind bag, and then it's, oh, look at this. You got a blank sketch cover, which I don't care about a blank sketch cover. All right, I want art on my book.
Right. Not just that, but let's say you know, gambled and got 3 of them, and you pulled the bag and you got 3 of the same book. Right. I mean, you know,
we're in a gambling country, guys.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
I mean, it works because people buy them, but it's just not for me.
It started 20 years ago with the toys and all these guys. Blind bags, blind bag toys, blind bag this.
They still have blind bag box toys and stuff like that. You know, you're going for that chase figure.
You're going for the chase. You're going for the chase. It's the hunt, the chase. But that's more of a flipper's game than a collector's game.
Yes.
Right.
The flippers are chasing the blind bags to try to get the one and whatever. The collectors will buy one, and they're not buying it because it's a blind bag. They're buying it because they want whatever's in it they're content with.
And they want to read the story or whatever, or they, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just go.
I wanted to, I say this, I have a friend that is more of he's not as much into comics anymore. He's more of a figure guy. And I always, and I have a few, but not anything, like I'm not deep in it like he has a whole room that's dedicated to figures and stuff at his place. And that's great. Do you feel like that helps the store, you know, profit-wise? I guess.
Absolutely. The expansion of the business in my mind, for me, not in my mind, for me, is diversity.
Yeah.
We sell a lot of statues, a lot of anime, a lot of figures.
Yeah.
Period. So it definitely helps the bottom line. There's no question about it. Guys that refuse to get into it, I don't know why. They either don't have the space, the economics to do it, because it's very cash intense to do it, or they just refuse out of sheer stubbornness to do it. But listen, any stream that's in your venue, you should take advantage of.
Right.
It's just as simple as that. I mean, it's not complex. I mean, you're in business, and you should be taking advantage of every revenue stream that's at your disposal. But the problem is most guys are sitting in their comic shop for 8-10 hours by themselves doing nothing except streaming on their phones. You know, I tell guys, if I took a blue light and tracked you, I could track you from the door to your chair every day, and there wouldn't be no footage anywhere else. Get up off your chair, greet your people, talk.
Right. My LCS owner never comes from behind that desk. I mean, very rarely. And if it is, it's just to leave. It's to get up and go, you know, get lunch or whatever. He's never on the floor, you know. Is always one of his associates, you know, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that.
It's been like that forever, though. That's not a new thing.
No, it's not.
It's a worse thing now because the revenue is a lot less than it was. Yeah. Before, I was selling 100 copies of anything. Now, if you sell 10 of a book, you're doing great. So, you know, people need to realize that. And the one thing about my people is they know they get on the floor and you circulate with the customers. As well as at my age, with everything that's going on, as many things I'm doing behind the scenes, I'm accessible to any customer that walks in that store at any time. Somebody specifically asks for me, go get me.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming out to that person. If they're asking for me, they know me, and I'm there to service them at the end of the day, right?
When I come up to Connecticut, Craig, and I come to your store.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't want those guys anymore, but but when you guys come up,
I'm gonna go get Gary. We're coming to the store.
When you come up, we're gonna go do dinner. We'll do a little tour. We'll have some.
That's
fun.
Awesome. Well, I mean, it's hard business to stay in, and it sounds like what I'm hearing more than anything from you is you're just a businessman that loves comics also and runs a comic shop, but you've diversified so much that it helps you to be able to run the shop. You know, you had the Dunkin' Donuts, you've had gas stations. I mean, you know how to run a business and find joy in what you're doing. And that's an amazing thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot. Yeah, I do the store, like I said, because I truly enjoy it. And I've gone full circle. I've gone full circle now. I come back to, that's where I hang my hat. That's what I do. My work time is shorter than it is.
Yeah.
I put more work time into what's not and make less money than I ever did.
Now, did anyone else in your family, because you got your wife and your kid, did any of them get the collecting bug too, or they collect different things?
My son, he grew up around, stuff his whole life.
Right.
So, he's seen it all. He grew up with it. It never meant much to him. But I'd say I guess it was even him during COVID, he got into Star Wars. Yeah. I was so happy. I was like, yeah, he's into something. And we collect sideshow pieces together.
Oh, nice.
So he got a room done up. He got all the sideshow pieces, and he got his particulars. And so he's very into it. He definitely does. We got, he got some limited production stuff that we got on the walls, some pieces, some nice art up and things of that nature. So he's got very much into it. So that's his thing, Star Wars for the most part, and he mixes it with a good mix of art and statues.
Right. See, Gordon, that's exactly what we're talking about. The comic shops, especially the mom and pop ones, like you, like my guy, part of why they succeed is one, they diversify. They know that it's not that you can't just do comics and comics alone. You got to diversify that, and like you were talking about, you got to take advantage of other avenues, right? Because my LCS guy, he also does whatnot. He's built a community on there, like you've built a community on yours. So I guess my next question is, at what point did whatnot become this reality for you? That hey, we're also going to move into this market.
I was really sick when it started, and I see D. Thank you, D. I appreciate you. I was going through chemo and radiation. I wasn't up to very much of anything. My son used to take me down there with a couple of guys and drag me in and try to move it. I was pretty much bedridden at that point. And and we used to go down, and I wanted to spend time with him.
Right.
And then he got me introduced to the community. But then the community, I guess when I was sick or not there, they would notice I had the throat surgeries and whatnot. And the amount of love and care that was expressed to me was flooring. It was flooring. It was so overwhelming that I think on the show I cried a couple of times. It was more intense than people I have known for 20, 30 years that were alive around me.
Right.
And I started recognizing, I'm like, wow, I'm down, so I'm useless because I'm not producing for X, Y, and Z. So the phone stopped ringing. And at the flip side, these people I don't even know that I co-enact with are like asking for me, and I'm looking at it, when I'm sitting tubes, and they're like, "Oh, how's your dad? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Holy shit, this is real." This is
right. Real. Yeah, the comic community is like that. They're very, very accepting, very embracing.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I don't know. You tell me if this is at the time to bring it up, Gary, or not. But C3.
Go ahead.
So we have, I guess it's going on 4 years now. We have a group of guys that run it, and they're YouTubers, but they're also comic lovers, and they have this Comics Curing Cancer, and it's partnered directly with the American Cancer Society. And they had a booth this year in the previous year at Heroes Con. I went to Heroes Con in June to Charlotte for Heroes Con, and they this has become like a real, like last year we raised 55,000, I think, or 60,000. The year before we raised like 50,000. It's gradually been
100% of that goes to the American Cancer Society.
Right. There's no middleman thing. So they got this thing set up. Right. They got this thing set up where, you'll like, I plan to go into my stuff and send them things, and they do these auctions for a whole weekend, and it's on different platforms, different YouTube, platforms, different, their thing. And they do auctions, and what you do is you pay the portal, and the portal sends it to the ACS. They get notified, and then they say, "Okay, Jim, we got your payment. This book is yours." And they put it in the pile, your donation, and then they put it in the pile and they ship it to you. But
you guys gotta get me in contact to figure this out, to do some brainstorming how we could bring it into New England and help participate with this whole thing.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is, like, right now, they just take donations. Anything you think that somebody might want. But like, they made their own exclusives. So like, they had Stephanie Lavad do this Batwoman.
Hold on, let me make you big, Jim, so you can show them properly.
Right.
Go ahead.
Stephanie Lavad did this Batwoman cover. Now, this book particularly is an art book that they sold that has all different artists that help participate in creating this book. So inside it has different artists that have decided to, and they did the prints of them. You see what I mean?
So it's an art. It's a self-published art page book.
Right.
Well,
and
it's just right, and it's a comic curing. Like this was the art book last year.
Right. But they got different artists. So like
different artists from the community contribute art to the book.
Right.
So this was the 2025 art book.
Right. And
had this incredible Hulk cover.
Right. Yeah, I'm seeing.
And then they had, this is Bart Sears did this cover this year. So they had like 6 different covers, which you can see right here.
And how do they get them out, guys? So everybody knows.
I mean, like a couple of these have already sold out. You can't get this one. That was only like 25 made.
They have a big cartel link.
Yeah, they have a big cartel link. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because, more than anything, they just look for, at this point, they'll be looking for people to donate so that when they have their push in October, they put it up there and sell it, and they do really well
and they
at
even
it.
pay all the shipping themselves. So anyone that's a part of the show, if someone donates, that donation, 100% of that donation goes towards comics curing cancer. They don't keep any of that. So anyone that's participating in these, they all the participating shows pay for the shipping to the people who donate.
Rob takes all his YouTube money and uses the money from YouTube to pay for the shipping to ship out to everybody. And we're talking people in England, Australia. I mean, it costs money.
Right.
Yeah. And so, I just wanted you to know that there's something out there. If you ever want to be, participate through a, I don't know. I don't know what you'd want to do.
And and you got a fellow New Yorker, DJ Lynx. That's one of the three.
Yeah, DJ Lynx is actually, he pretty much was the point man on this art book this year.
And I mean, if you're interested in learning more about it, I could put you in contact with DJ Lynx.
Please go. Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Make sure
and I just, I'm not trying to push
and
them.
DJ's a great guy. You'll like all three of them. They're really nice people.
Yeah.
Well, you should be pushing it. You should be pushing it. It's a great cause.
Yeah, it's just a great cause. I think, everybody's been touched by that terrible disease in some capacity. So,
listen,
but I wanted to bring that up to you.
No, that's great. It's great. And thank you for sharing that. Definitely, please put me in touch with him. And guys out there, if everybody understands it's a terrible disease and everybody understands, and that's fantastic. Believe me, much love and appreciation for understanding all that. But until, God forbid, you go through it, you never really know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
So, yes, any help is great help. And like they taught me, you never know how strong you got to be until strong is all you got.
Right.
Because when you're walking that line, you're walking alone, no matter how much love you have around you. It's a dark, dark place. And the only thing that pulls you through it is the care you get. And the care you get through people like him that he's talking about that are putting money behind it to help. A lot of people are in a situation that they're not fortunate enough to get the help, the meds, whatever it may be, the care, just the day-to-day care. Having somebody come in, the feeding, the cleaning, there's a million things behind the scenes that nobody gets, or they don't get their due for. Those nurses that come, 2 a.m. to your bedside, that nobody knows their name, and you leave, you don't know their name unless you made it a point to know their name. I'm a survivor, and I participate in whatever I can, but I didn't know about this organization. I'm glad I did now. So
I'm trying to get a hold of one of them now. See if one of them can jump on to talk to you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if there's anything that you want to, anyone you want to talk to, Gary, you can put him in touch with DJ. It's so funny because DJ's in New York, Rob's in California, Mark's in Georgia, but they make it work. And it's just amazing. They have I don't know if you know Big Time Collectibles in Texas. They just opened up on Rob. They donated like I don't know how many slabs, and Rob opened that up to do a preview to show what they're going to be auctioning off as a donation from them. Like I said, I go through my stuff every year and go, okay, what do I'm not married to, but somebody might like?
Yeah.
And whether it's just a run of books that I think, man, somebody will love reading that, or the art is amazing in this, and I'm not married to it, let me put it out there. And I ship it all to Rob, and then they auction it off for what they think they can get for it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I would have gone for more. But then, that's how I got that Captain America back there, because they had it on there, and I was like, you know what? I want that in my collection, and it's going to a good cause.
Well, that's it. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you overpay, you underpay, it's irrelevant. It's something you're doing for a different reason.
Absolutely, 100%.
So it's like you say, oh, I wish it would have went for more. I wish it would. At the end of the day, when we do stuff now from our shop,
You want to go into that because that's part of your show, right?
That's part of my show. That's historically a Rico thing. He came on the show. He's one of my first guys. He hates Superman, so it's called the Tip and Rip. So I don't rip him. I have nothing personal against him, but I can't control what you guys do. So I know there's a lot of chatter back and forth about that I hear from other people. And I try to tell people, don't reflect it on me or my show. That's a Rico thing. It's an historic thing. And thank you. I truly appreciate that.
Oh, and Gmail Texas wants to know if you have anything cool you can show.
Let me just finish my.
He showed his face, right? Is this your face reveal on YouTube?
It's So
you're not the first one to first show
Rico
your face
tips. We got to rip a book, and that's all it is. And the book happens to be Superman. It's Superman. That's the victim. That's the victim of what it is. So it's a Rico rip.
Now we got a request here too, Craig. Tina said she would love to see you on my other live show, the 10-1-1. That's a whole different format, though.
Yeah, that's where you pull out 10. You pull out 12 books that you want to show, and one of them has to be like a personal story, and then one of them has to be like a spec book.
It's 12 books total. It's 10 books,
12 books.
10 books that are favorites and why they're favorites of yours. The 11th book is a book with an even longer story, with a more personal story. Like maybe your grandmother bought you your first book and you still have it, or something like that. Or maybe it's a book that got you through a rough time. And then the 12th one is just a fun one. It's a spec pick that you might think. So that's a fun show. This is the interview show.
Well, I would love to be on your show, and I appreciate the invite. So absolutely, let me know what I need to do and what I need to bring along, and we'll put stuff together for sure.
Nice.
Let's see. Somebody want to see stuff. I don't know. Let me walk over here to a box.
Now, I'm definitely going to get your name out to a couple people here in the community, so you might get some contacts. Hey, Tate, how's it going, man? Nice to see you. I haven't seen Tate in a while. He's great.
Oh, just a box came in that I just opened. That's sitting on the floor coincidentally. Normally I ain't got stuff in the office, but
ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
One would be the book I read after watching Gary's going.
Weapon X.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's a cutie talking about one of your younger guys.
Oh yeah, the armor. What is that? Scotty Young, right?
Yep, Scotty Young.
Yeah.
And of course, no show would be good without.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Hold that thing up like that. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite covers. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now we'll see who remembers this.
Wait.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
That's a great book.
I got the omnibus here.
So a little handful of stuff sitting on the side over there.
They're nice.
So
now, what do you think, Craig, about some of these great shows we've had? Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Have you been a fan of those?
Some yes, some no. I wasn't thrilled with Cage. I mean, and Iron Fist. Where did the costume goes? I want to see Luke Cage. I don't want to see a hoodie. I'm sorry.
I love Mike Coulter as Luke Cage, though.
Yeah.
So, but Jessica Jones, the show was good. The Mandalorian stuff is good.
Yep.
Mandalorian was phenomenal.
I loved Hawkeye.
Oh, I did too. I thought Hawkeye was great.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people didn't like the Echo show, and I actually ended up really liking the Echo show.
I did too.
And I thought Miss Marvel was charming. Every episode of Miss Marvel, I was smiling the whole episode. Her dynamic with her family. Oh, it was so good.
That's a great word. Well said. Very well said. It definitely worked.
Did Boss like She-Hulk? I'm a She-Hulk fan. I don't think a lot of people understood what they were going for in that show.
Yeah, they were confused, but at the end of the day, who could not like She-Hulk? You know, at the end of the day, you have to like the show.
Right. The only thing I didn't like about She-Hulk is that they made Hulk puny. I didn't like how they represented Hulk.
Yeah.
But I loved her. I thought she was great as Jennifer Walters in She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I hopefully she returns. But you know, we live in the online world where people can just be nasty for no reason, and there's no repercussions for it.
And then, unfortunately, they usually do. It's very sad. I don't think they did either. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Here's what. Explain this to me, guys. Marvel started doing better TV shows than movies, I believe, at a certain point. And Warner Brothers is supposed to be a movie theater, and they can't do a movie.
Right.
I
and I love the Winter Soldier show. I thought that was great. Winter Soldier,
phenomenal.
And Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought I loved it.
Phenomenal.
And those two guys, man, we got such great chemistry together.
It's phenomenal. And,
it's like watching the Ultimate Bro movie, you know?
Correct. They played that perfect. They put it together perfect. And this is where when you would go back in time and say that's part of the House of Ideas. You know, this is what we're doing. The House of Ideas ran out of ideas. And they're trying to live on 50-year-old things. And they can't even come up with new names. They got to reuse the same names and refilter them with different characters. Right. Why take away history? We're not changing the flag of the country because we've gone into another time. Create a different banner. Create your own flag. Create your own post. Create your own string. Be your own person. But they don't want to do it. They just want to try to revive things under the same name. And it's not the same. We're heavily vested in certain things, and I'm heavily vested in my Captain America. I'm heavily vested in my Luke Cage. I'm heavily vested in whatever the Hulk, whatever it may be. I don't want to see a different character with a different superpower, with a different mindset, with a different. The whole thing is like, what did we do here? It's not the name.
Right.
You just that's the purpose to franchising, right? You franchise the brand, the name. You know, that's why you got this.
I got to ask you because it's the newest one out, and I really ended up loving it. Did you watch Spider Noir?
I did. Did
you like it?
I did. 100%.
I loved it.
I don't know anybody who's in it. I really don't. Nobody. I haven't heard anything.
Cage? You don't know Nicolas Cage?
I love Nicolas Cage.
Right. You know what really what I loved about that show is they wrote for all the characters. Like all the villains had a great story. They all had an arc. Silvermane was great. I was really blown away by Lee Jun Lee's Catwoman because I've been a Catwoman collector my whole life, and she was everything that Catwoman. She personified Felicia's Black Cat.
Black Cat.
I don't even like Catwoman character, but Black Cat, right? Lee Jun Lee was a great Black Cat. Because I saw the Absolute Catwoman they were talking about earlier, Jim.
Yeah.
But I've been a Black Cat collector my whole life, and I thought she just brought the essentials of her, right? She had presence. She was mysterious. You really couldn't 100% trust her, but you definitely wanted her on your side. And there's always a sense of danger about her. And she just played all those essential parts of Felicia Hardy great. I thought the guy who played Robbie Robertson was great.
He was,
the reporter on the street trying to break the story, trying to make a name for himself. I thought the Sandman, and I thought all the villains were just really well fleshed out, and it really felt great. And just the whole dynamic between him and Silvermane, I thought was good. And I thought it had a really smart mystery to it, the way he outplayed that one guy with the money. And
it was well thought through. You could see the work that went into the show. And that's the problem. You could see the lack of work in so many other shows. And again, as people with background knowledge, it's disheartening that somebody green lights this stuff and puts it on and then calls it a failure when it was you guys who failed on your production and presenting it to us.
Right.
We were there to support. You listen, you make a Marvel movie, you got my money. If the movie's bad, it's just bad. You know.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how this next, thing comes out, if it ever comes out. I don't know. I'm hearing rumblings of people saying they saw clips of the Doom thing, so I don't know.
So, Mark, I was reaching out to you, Rob, and DJ. So this is Craig from Comics Collectibles in Connecticut. Craig would like to learn more about C3. Seeing you're one of the people that run it, would you like to take the stage a second and fill Craig in on exactly what it is and how to get involved?
Sure. Let me move this giant cybernetic dinosaur out of the way.
So, Craig, this is Mark from Legion of Comics YouTube channel.
How you doing there, buddy?
So
Hey,
we were hyping up C3. Craig here is a cancer survivor himself, but he had not heard of C3 before. I'm like, well, who better than let's get one of the guys who runs it on to talk about it and introduce him to it properly.
Okay.
So the stage is yours, sir.
Yeah. So Comics Curing Cancer is an official campaign for the American Cancer Society. This will be the 5th year that we've organized it. It's just a 3-day long event that we host on YouTube. There's just 3 volunteers reaching out to the community, taking in donations of all sorts from key comic books, iconic runs, original art, artwork, all kinds of stuff, just any kind of donations that come in that are comic book related. And for 3 days, I organize different shows on YouTube where we run just one show after another, back to back to back, and fundraise for the American Cancer Society. So we'll have anything from auctions to pledge drives to live drawing shows and anything that we think of creatively throughout the weekend that works best to raise money via comic book culture.
Well, definitely like to get involved with you guys and like to get your information and see how my store could help drive business to you and collect as well.
So you have a store?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, watch this whole show. He's
come on,
been
Gary. Don't
he's
make me
been
do homework.
for 50 years. He's had multiple stores.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. So
he probably knew Nick.
Right.
So yeah, that's one thing that we definitely try to do. For example, like this year alone, Heroes Con in June is like the halfway point for us. We use that as like a community outreach thing to be able to network and all that stuff. And at Heroes Con, to have something to do to raise money, we kind of coordinate with other people we know that have shops. Most notably, Big Time Collectibles. The owner of that store is a friend, and he just donated an exclusive book in the past that we've sold at the show. Mark Spears, the artist, donated an exclusive, and then
Who was that last guy?
Mark Spears.
Not familiar. This kid.
He's joking with you, Mark.
Yeah.
Yes, this is actually our exclusive. So
he's badass.
With Mark and
yeah.
They gave us the whole 500 print run. So we're all charity. So we everything's done on donation and stuff. But shops are the thing that I'm trying to crack next. I'm trying to get because we have a couple of shops that are supportive, but I'm trying to get places with inventory to be able to think of something to do. Because what we need more than anything to level it up every year is people that are willing to donate bigger ticket items. We always have a couple of big ticket items, but stores and places with inventory often have things like that. And we are an actual American Cancer Society campaign. So we do have like tax receipts and stuff. And I think that kind of like people get nervous about that or don't want to ask for them or stuff. But like even for people watching, like if you have big ticket items, reach out to us on Instagram. You can reach out to me, or we have the Comics Curing Cancer page that the 3 of us all monitor and have access to. We can email you anything you need, whether it be tax forms for donations or just more information, literature, whatever. But shops, if we could get like a snowball effects of shops looking at their store and their inventory and grabbing like instead of like 10 medium items, like big items, something like that, it's a lot easier for them to do that than say myself or Gary or Jim. There's a difference between someone's personal property and a store's inventory. There's a little bit of a difference there. So I'm trying to crack that nugget next.
Oh, this is good. Mark, first of all, thank you for jumping on because you said it better than Jim and I said it.
Yeah,
well, that's
we were
okay, Gary.
it.
I was sitting here playing with cybernetic dinosaurs, so you caught me at a perfect time.
He's a better pitch man than we are, Craig.
Well,
That's just
he's
the
a
way
little
it
more
is.
polished. He's a little more polished.
Yeah, he's a little more polished.
Well, he helps run it, so he knows everything about it, the ins, the outs,
Indeed. Yeah, but please get my information. I'd like to brainstorm with him and see what we can come up with.
I will
Instagram.
info. He does not.
No.
Oh yeah, well then just send me the info, Gary. I'm assuming you have email though, right?
Yes, he does.
Okay, that's good because the Raven died last week, so we have to get a whole new Raven. We're looking at carrier pigeons, but I want to invest again in a Raven. The last one made it for like 3 years.
You know, these youngsters.
Canadian geese now.
I know I'm old. I know I'm old, and I know you're young. But yeah, I'm slowly getting into it. I even got a computer.
Hey, there you go, dude. I'm not. So what's funny about you saying that about me? Out of the three of us, it's me, Rob, and D. So what's funny is
You're the Luddite.
I call either one of them. I'm like, hey, can you just email me the photo that I need? They're like, it's in the file. I'm like, I don't know what that means. It's in the Google Drive. What language is that?
I just sent you his phone number, Mark, on Instagram.
All right, cool. I can do telephone, I can do text message, and I can do fancy text messaging on the social medias. That's where you about.
My son laughs at me. He tells me, "What are you calling him for?" Nobody answers phone calls.
Right.
That's all I'd rather do. I seen Gary called me, and I'm like immediately like, let me hit him back, and then he just sends me a link. I have no clue where it's going to take me.
Well, I was texting you what the link was about, but see, Mark just jumps on because he's a good friend like
you
that.
sent me a link, bro. I'm going to click it.
I was texting you what the link was about.
Then you sent me a link. I'm like, this dude could be on the side of the road for all I know. Let me hit this.
I don't know. I'm sending you a link to get myself towed. No.
I'm like, yo, like, dude, crazier things have happened than people in the community just randomly call you on some,
like how close the community is. Like,
well, that's what it's really about, right?
Mark had no idea what I was contacting him about.
No, I didn't even know you were live. I thought I was about to be backstage just talking to you or something.
Right. He probably just thought I went off the farm mentally.
Yeah, it's happened to people in this community before. And you never know. I mean, like, crazier people have done crazier things. You never know what someone might be capable of.
Right.
God knows that's the truth. That is the truth.
Craig doesn't know about that.
He probably thought you were calling him to collect some of that money back you owe him. I don't know.
Yeah, he don't know.
No,
well, that book he held up is a book I wrote.
There's a lot of people in this community. If they call me, I'm going to pick up. If they send me a link, I'm going to click it.
Where in New York are you?
Me?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not in New York.
No, I'm not a communist.
Yeah, he's the Georgia boy. I told you, one's in Georgia, one's in California. The other one is
Links
in New York.
Is in New York.
Yeah,
Link,
DJ Links.
Okay, there you go.
He's on the front line, and the other one's behind enemy lines in California.
Oh God. Okay, I didn't know it was a political show that I could go there.
It's
I was
not.
very reserved.
I just say that in case they
trying to
see
be
it.
Reserved the whole time.
He's trying to pick on. He's trying to pick on them, Craig, not you.
Yeah, I'm
picking
on
I'm
them.
good. I'm good with it all. I was just trying to be reserved when I got out here, not to say anything incorrect. But I see we're going to have a good friendship.
The three of us are super close, and we take full advantage of the fact that I'm in Georgia, he's in New York, he's in California, and we definitely pick on each other. If we're not making fun of each other, something's wrong, and you might want to check on us.
Bros, the only way we know we like each other is by busting each other's balls constantly.
Yeah, it's quite possible that because he had a store in New York for a long time, and who knows, Nick might have gone.
He had three stores in New York.
I was in the Bronx. I was in Queens. I was in Westchester.
Okay, so you very well. What years in the Bronx?
All through the 80s and 90s.
So, dude, Lynx probably went in a store as a kid because Lynx and his siblings would go in shops. So DJ, the one of us in New York, very well could have been in and out of your stores as a kid with his siblings and stuff.
Yeah, we were just about in every corner of the Bronx at one point. We were holding stores from the South Bronx to the north side of the Bronx.
Nick too. Nick might have been over there once or twice.
See too, and you're gonna have to have your son set you up on Instagram, Craig.
Yeah.
You have Facebook?
The store does.
Yeah, the store.
Well, it's literally the same thing. Like I didn't have it until I started fooling around in this comic book community. I had a passive Facebook that I wasn't even a social media guy. I had one, but I really only use it for the text messaging feature on it. But then when I got on this stuff, everyone's like, you got to get Instagram. You got to get Instagram. And it turns out that's just the platform the majority of people use to text message with. Even if you don't You know, you don't have to get on there to run the social media to post pictures to keep up, but it's just as a way to easily talk to everybody. That's
right.
all. Just
and you can video call each other easy. You just go in the chat like I did with Mark. I just video called him, and Mark said, "Hey, that's this fucking guy."
Yeah, I was really never a public person.
I thought you were needing reference photos for your new book.
To get out there that way. So I never did the Facebook thing. I never did the Instagram personally. You know, my businesses all were out there exposure.
Yeah.
So that's the way I kept it.
Very
but
good.
Life changes quickly, as we all see.
Yeah. And Mark, I really got to thank you for coming on, because I wanted to put him in connection with one of you guys so you could explain it better to him and just what it means. Now, and they up the, I mean, the artists they get are incredible. The people that participate with them are phenomenal.
Well, kudos to them, and we all should. So there's no downside to giving.
No, we got man. Yeah, like it'd be so much easier just to be able to show you our Instagram, because we just got back from Heroes and I went around badgering a bunch of professionals to do a lot of cool little drawings on covers for us. And JR just gave us a big old sketch for free and just donated. And
I am from the Bronx, so if you need anybody shaking down, you let me know. We'll take care of it.
Get that milk money for me.
That's it.
Right.
But some guys, you know, listen, you got to go around. You got to be known. You got to put your feet on the ground so people know who you are. And it's a good cause, so why shouldn't they?
Yeah. Right. It's a very uncomfortable thing to do, but it's weird to walk up to people and say, "Hey, you want to give us free stuff?" You know, it's a very odd feeling. It's never comfortable, ever.
Well, it's a different position, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got smart this past Heroes Con, because I know a couple of artists just from meeting them so many times and talking with them over the years. So I went to one of them and kind of got the ball rolling. And then I went to the shop owner at Big Time Collectibles that I know that had 2 artists at his booth. So through him, got them to do it. And then I got his little whatnot seller that does all of his social media to take me to the next artist that he knew. And then I asked that artist, what artists here would you think you'd like to see participate? And he mentioned someone I'd never heard of. And I went to that person and said, "Hey, Martin Simmons sent me over here and said, you'd be great for this." So I was just started using them instead of myself. You know what I'm saying? It worked out good.
That's a nice niche. It works. Sure.
Your peer sent me.
That's it. Why not? Anything at any means is what you use to do what you're doing. Solicitation is not an easy thing. I used to do a lot of things, but saying that, I used to do cold calling for a nonprofit in the Bronx a lifetime ago, and it's amazing what you may get on what reaction, from hung up to okay, I got a $10,000 check, come pick it up.
Yeah.
So it's all doable. We did it, you know, just cold calling. It was just random calling. Went through the yellow pages, all the corporations, especially Bronx-based ones, and just called and told them, this is the deal. This is what we do. You know, it's a neighborhood watch program, and we need money.
Right.
You know, so you can give us the money, or the kids that
wear the little berets
will be in front of your building, graffitiing up your building.
Did you wear the little berets?
So we kept the graffiti artists away from most people.
Yeah.
Dude, well, thank you for having me hop on for a second. I'm technically on vacation as of like 3.5 hours ago, and I'm over here trying to do a lot of stuff before I leave tomorrow to go to the good island, not the bad one, the good one, going to the island. And I'm about to hop on with Sector and record the thing for Monday, and then I'm going to finish uploading this video about this dinosaur.
Well, let Paul know we said hi.
Yeah, let Paul know we said hi. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming on, making it clear. Please reach out to me. Enjoy your vacation. Let me know when you're back.
I'll be back on the 22nd.
You enjoy yourself, buddy.
Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you, man.
No, thank you, sir. You send me a link, I'm going to click it.
He's a piece.
That was nice. That was very nice.
Well, I'm like, I could just put you in touch with somebody live. I just had to see which one of them I could get a hold of first.
Right. Rob's not easy.
Again, that's what we're talking about. This is the strength of this community, right?
Right.
All I do is send him a link. He's like, oh, Gary sent it.
Well, that's the strength of you guys.
Yeah.
The community's there for the right guys.
Correct.
So it's you guys that the community comes around. They
So-
won't follow or socialize with anybody. I learned that too. The guys that are just garbage, they don't have a community.
Oh,
Right.
exactly.
I
Now,
agree.
Jim, do you have any wrap-up questions? Because we're hitting almost the 2-hour mark. So
I did. The most important one, like I said, when I get on Whatnot, I have to pace myself because budget. You have to stay within a budget because the wife will go like, what is this thing that came across the checkbook here? What days do you have your show so I can make sure to outbid Gary on anything he's bidding on?
Well, two things I'll say about that. The first one is I preach to people. You won't hear it in many stores. You won't hear it on as many streams, but I preach and I tell everybody, buy at your pace. Stay within your comfort zone.
Right.
I'm going to be here until I'm not.
Right.
Stuff will be around always. I prefer you buying for the next 10 years than buying one time and being dissatisfied and being, oh my God, what did I do?
Oh, yeah.
Don't ever put yourself in that position. Don't ever overbuy and be uncomfortable and have buyer's remorse. It's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for the industry. And we're on, again, we do it because we enjoy it. We're not full-time doing it. We're on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays.
Okay.
And we keep it simple and we keep those hours, and that's what we find as a comfort zone for us. And if the community wants more, they speak to us about it. If they want different hours, we always suggest, recommend.
You want to rip up a book, just let them know when you tip them.
Yeah, when you want a Superman shredded. Some people like it, some people don't. I apologize in advance, for doing it, but I don't. Yeah. It's a community program. It's your book. You want it shredded. Who am I to say no?
You're Superman fan. Prepare yourself.
Yes. And we got guys like that. Be prepared. Yes, I got a great community. I'm very, very fortunate. I feel I got a lot of interaction. I got a lot of people that follow. And we tell people, listen, don't worry about budgets with us. Just get on and bullshit. That's what we're here for. I'm here for the interaction.
And you guys give great deals on books.
I'm not a crazy person. I don't go bananas with it, but if I see something I like, I'm gonna bid on it. I definitely see Gary bidding, I'm gonna bid. I'm be like, yeah.
Oh, Jim and I like the same stuff. That's our problem.
Get your hands off that, Gary. That's mine.
In most cases, we got two. So just let us know.
Just let us know.
I tell people a lot of times when I got multiples, people think I'm crazy. I tell people, don't bid on this. I got another one if somebody wants it. I'm going to run it now. I got another one. Don't bid.
Yeah.
Again, it's a very small community we got. It's story.
But it's a nice community.
It's a great community. And it's story focused. If somebody wants to know about the books, guys chime in all the time to tell people about the books and what it is. Now, I'm happy to give it, but I'm more interested in telling you the history, showing you stuff, introducing people to different artists, different time periods, different eras, different aspects of the industry. You guys got a phenomenal show, by the way. I got to say, I'm so glad you popped in and introduced it to me, Gary. It was eye-opening, to say the least.
Well, I was just going to talk about it because Craig didn't even know me. He found out I had a YouTube channel. And then he showed a little bit of it on the Whatnot.
Yeah, so, put it up here. Let's go.
I think he got banned for that, for showing something this ugly on the Whatnot. It wasn't allowed. Once the face was on there, people couldn't unsee it.
Yeah.
I got him into trouble. But Craig, I have a final question. That's just a fun one. It's one I like to ask people, especially comic collectors.
We're phasing out here.
All right. So my final question is, if you could have your death depicted in any comic book, in what comic book are you dying? What character is killing you? and who's drawing it and writing your death?
All right. Well, I'll start by saying this: the death of Captain Marvel was the worst death ever. I mean, it's like you start Marvel graphic novels, great thing, great concept, and then you actually killed Captain Marvel, and you really kept him dead. It was horrible to me. That was just horrible. Now, if I could die in any comic, it'd be Fantastic Four comic. It'd be drawn by Kirby, and I'd be killed by the Thing down in Yancey Street.
Oh, nice.
Because
Blue-eyed Benjamin, huh?
That's it. That's it. We go at it for a moment, but he knocked me into one of those midtown buildings back down there, and it'd be lights out. There'd be no coming back out of the rubble.
No.
Oh, Aunt Petunia would never forgive Ben.
No.
Oh, no. No. Whole different animal.
So was there anything you wanted to say in parting, Craig, to anyone that's watching this on the rewind, or any of the people that are currently watching?
Well, guys, whoever's out there that follows me, I appreciate your support and love. Definitely everybody who's out there, follow these guys. They're definitely entertainment, a lot of knowledge in their conversations. I hear it quickly. I've spoken with Gary. I know he does. And I could see Jim's room. That's just full of history. So, I mean, certain things clearly speak for themselves. So I know I'll be tuning in now to watch, and it's just a great show you guys put on. I got to say, and you work so perfectly together. It's phenomenal. And obviously, you did your rounds. You got people coming on your show that are great, and I love the fact that you're no nonsense guys. It's love or shove, and that's huge. That's huge.
We're too old to be anything but no nonsense.
Right. I don't have time for anything else. So.
Well, good for you. I mean, good for you. Some guys just tolerate and allow everything to go on, and the fact you don't, it says a lot about you guys. I'm not hungry for an audience that's hating. Less is better sometimes, and obviously you guys feel the same thing, and you want to protect your community, and saying those things means a lot. Sometimes old school is the best school, and you guys definitely are holding up tradition and holding that down. So anything I could do for you guys, let me know.
Well, we're definitely going to have you on for a 10-1-1 for sure. So
yeah, I got to schedule August, so maybe we can get you back on next month. You can start picking some books out.
You can start picking out your 10 favorite and then your special books. So
and I never got. Why does everybody call you boss? I got to know that.
Because he's the boss.
No, but even the people in the street call him boss man.
I don't have an answer. They just picked it up. I think I like to believe it was a sign of respect back in the era where I was beat to hell. Yeah. And not to mention my age. So tagline got stuck on, and I gratefully accepted it, and it was just on from there. But you got a great community here, man. I mean,
yeah, we're lucky to be a part of such a good community. There's a lot of great people in it, and Jim and I appreciate it every day.
No, it's showed me a lot, and like I said, it's turned me into a person that really enjoys just getting on and meeting people like you. I mean, there's a phenomenal world out there, and we need to open our hearts and embrace it. And you guys are part of the reason I recognize that. Just no nonsense guys, down to earth, and it's wonderful to meet people like you and interact with people like you. Yeah, and everybody should.
It was our pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thank you. These were some great stories. I'm a huge biography type of person. I like to read biographies, and yours, I think, would be fascinating. Just, I know you've got some great stories.
I lived a life. Definitely, yeah. And I'm grateful to be here. And I went through, I tell people I've known broke, and I've known wealth, and I've known broke again. And I can tell you stories on both sides of the coin. And I just rolled the dice, and I let them fall where they were. But guys, thank you so much for having me. Anything I could do for you guys, just let me know. I'm always all in to help support the community. And just keep me abreast with anything new you guys are doing, because I want to support it. I want to be in.
Okay.
Absolutely. And if there's anything that you want to do through this channel, just reach out and let me know. We'll make something work.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely will. And you guys feel free to jump in my shop and just post up, let people know you're out there. You know, it's an open invitation. Just do it. You know, just let people know.
Nice.
I definitely spread the word on my side.
And we're gonna say, first of all, as we like to end these things, we went double length with you tonight because it was just so much fun, Craig.
Yeah, it really was.
I appreciate that.
So what we do at the end is Jim and I will say what's going on. Jim, what's coming up for you, sir?
Well, I got a notification from CGC that my books are coming back. So probably maybe this week they'll come in this weekend, maybe, if not next Monday. I don't know how long it takes to ship from where they are to Maryland, but you know, we'll see. But I only did 4. I think it's 4. Yeah, 4 books, but they're a set from a book that I bought last year. I bought one book last year already graded at Heroes Con, and I really love the art. I thought, you know, this is just cool. If I can find the rest of them, I'm going to, you know, get them cleaned and pressed and send it. And then I'll be able to display them. So they're coming back. So I'll be doing a video on that for sure. You and I are going to eventually do a review of No Man's Land.
Yep, I still have to reach out to him because this is my week back to work after going up to visit my dad with his hip and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But now I got to give him Craig's information too, so he can get his book in Craig's shop.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna see my buddy Colin tomorrow. He came to check on his mom, and he's my old digging buddy. And we might go out and dig some.
I don't know if you could see these. If the glare is gonna be too much, but these are what I'm waiting for to come back.
Let us make it big again, real quick.
Yeah. And I
know
we can't see it.
That screen's not working with you.
Yeah, what is it?
It's I sent out a pile of weird science.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Weird fantasies.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
A run of Batmans.
Woo.
And an entire run from 1 to 50 of Superman's pal Jimmy.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to be big because he's getting his own show now.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
That is my thoughts. So yeah, we're both waiting for our packages. Mine's only 3 months behind.
I know. No matter how modern they get, they don't get them back any quicker to you, right?
No, listen, we were doing $100,000 a year with them, and I stopped at one point because of the slowness.
Right.
Right.
You would thought, you know, I mean, 100 grand's not the end of the world, but it's money.
Right.
I didn't even get a call. Didn't get a call. Why did you stop? What did you do? Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Yeah, they're big. They're huge now.
Well, I mean, you know, they got all that money behind them now, so it's a different company than it used to be. But they are who they are, and God bless them, and let them make us some money. Let's get some back good grades and get it out to the public and keep it alive, preserve it. So I'm waiting. I definitely shoot you pictures when we get it, though, guys, so you can see them.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
So next Thursday, I have Daniel coming on from DC Life, a guy I met through Craig's Whatnot.
There you
So
go.
Daniel will be on next Thursday, and he'll be doing a 10-1-1. So tune in for that episode. On the 21st, we have none other than the author of Solomon Kane's Suffer the Witch coming on to talk about this fantastic book. If you haven't read it,
you're gonna get him in touch with me, right?
Not this. I'm getting it. I can get him in touch with you too, but that's another. I'm getting Jason Douglas in touch with you.
Oh, Douglas. Okay.
Yeah, Jason Douglas is a colon cancer survivor too.
Yeah, you would say, yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's a great guy. You'll love him. And we got a lot of great stuff coming up. This Saturday, Torsten and I, my buddy from Austria, Torsten, we're doing top 10 Lucio Perillo covers for Savage Saturday. So we're doing that at noon. Our favorite Lucio Perlo covers. But with that, guys, we're going to say what we always say at the end of the show. First of all, thank you so much to my co-host Jim. It's always great having you here as my wingman buddy. You know how much I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate. There's no great show without a great guest. Craig,
Yes.
you are absolutely awesome. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you. And of course, to our live audience, we really appreciate you guys being here tonight. Thank you so much for your activity, for your comments, your likes, your shares. And like I said, everyone's links are in the description below. Go check them out. You might find some of your favorite creators or people to follow. And if you're catching us on the rewind, thank you so much. And as we like to end these things, we're going to say thank you so much for watching and keep it casual. Craig, don't disappear because we'll say goodbye to you afterward.
Definitely will.